Hello, my name is Royce Levi. This is me. This is a mask, of course. I showed you the mask because I've discovered, after a little bit of reading, that when the ancient Romans borrowed the comic mask and the tragic mask from the Greeks, they called it a persona. Persona. And I thought, hang on a minute, persona, person. I'm a person. Am I a mask? And then, when I retired in 2004 after 50 years of teaching, feeling bored and not wanting to vegetate, I decided to write some books. And the first one I chose to write was a book about politicians. This is it. A survival guide for dishonest political bastards. As a matter of fact, I think the politicians have been reading it to be rather humorously and non-serious because they're doing a lot of the things that I tried to highlight as their methods of political behaviour in this little book. Anyway, a little about the book. It might explain more concerning my hopes that it will interest you. I decided to look at what over the last, nearly 60 years, I've been voting for 60 years. And have I seen some misbehaviour with a political garb, with a political mask? I decided to write down some categories of behaviour and to make this book, which is a pretending survival guide, a kind of learning program for politicians if they want to succeed. And so this is what happened. I came up with some rather amusing terms, I think, but they're accurate. They point the finger at the misbehaviour. I thought of the kiddie gloss toss. Pick up and joggle a baby during an election campaign. And then there's the tolerance zero hero. Help customs men throw drugs into raging fires. That looks good. And then I thought of the McCarthy hush. Remain silent on the grounds of national security. That's handy. And then the fourth estate agent. Find a supportive newspaper proprietor. Anyway, and then I thought of another one that I think is a fairly common method, a strategy, and that is the time waffle. Whenever you can, say, our nation's noble past. Anyway. And then, of course, the fable agreed to. Link up with a biased historian. Now, and it's got to be famous, of course. Now, I'm a historian. I'm not famous, but I'm biased, so watch out. Last one I can mention now is the no data caper. Say something that no one can disprove, such as pacifism gave rise to Hitler. Well, of course, we know that the vengeance of the 1919 Treaty of Versailles gave Hitler a whole generation who listened to him and wanted revenge. Enough of that. Quite a bit of fun I've had with this little book. I've used the quotations of other people. For example, when in the House MPs divide, if they've a brain and cerebellum too, they've got to leave that brain outside and vote just as their leaders tell them to. Is that right? I think dear old William Schwenk, Gilbert of Gilbert and Sullivan fame, was accurate in that. Another one which I've tried to live by, I would look a politician in the eye and say, what you are stands over you the while and thunders, so that I cannot hear anything you say to the contrary. Well, Ralph Waldo Emerson gave me that one, and I've always liked it. And here's another one from the book. I put all of these in the book as somebody else's ideas. This is from someone you all know. Let us begin by committing ourselves to the truth. To see it as it is. To like it as it is. And tell it as it is. To find the truth, speak the truth, and live the truth. Well, Nixon, of course, that might give me another category. A Nixon. Tell a lie that appeals to everyone and won't be possible for you to deny. Eventually, he became the first president to resign. First, after all of these years. Well now, what I've tried to do in this little preview of the book is to give you an idea of the feel of it, the tone of it. It's available if you're interested. I've actually been interviewed on the ABC a couple of times from a wonderful interviewer in Brisbane, Steve Austin. And in the last time he talked to me, he suggested I write another one. Well, I've actually done that. It's not published yet, but I've enjoyed this one so much that I've tried my hand at another one, but more of that another time. In the meantime, if you are interested, I'll be pleased, as I'm not very rich, and I'm a retired professional person who's learning to be a writer, and if you like this first experience I've had of writing, it'll cost you $12.50. I will sign it and post it to you anywhere in the world for that price. And I hope it gives you a smile or two. After all, laughter is the best medicine. Anyway, enough from me. I'll be back on this place another time. But in the meantime, all my best wishes to you. And thanks for not switching me off until this moment. Bye for now.